All right, what's going on today, guys? So we're here with Brendan. He's got this 2004 Pontiac GTO, and after Cars and Coffee in Columbus, he texted me and let me know that he only had 5th gear in his trans, so we had to jump into it. We didn't really record much just because of the urgency to figure out what actually happened. So do you want to explain what was going on when it happened?
So I was driving back and basically I was in 5th. I went to go to 6th and it just wasn't there. But I went back into 5th and that worked, and then I went to neutral, and basically you couldn't go from, it was neutral and 5th is all I had.
Okay, yeah. And these T56s everyone deems as indestructible, and I can tell you right now, just from this experience, they're not. So we have what's the bare casing, what's left of it anyways. We got it pretty much torn apart. We got the front plate right there and the bell housing right there. We have your shift forks. It looks like one of them's steel, one's aluminum. This is the 3rd and 4th. Usually it gets replaced with the steel one. I'm not sure if this was factory steel or aluminum, but it is steel now. But everything looks okay on the input shaft, the second piece to it, except for 4th gear. I don't know if you can see, but right here it's missing 3 teeth, and right there it's missing 1, and then looks like 2 more are chipped. So we're going to be replacing this gear. This blocker ring is ate up pretty bad. Other than that, everything else on this entire shaft is fine. We're going to be getting a synchro kit that's going to come with, we're going to get the kit that comes with the synchros and the new bearings, just so nothing makes noise, nothing rattles. You always replace these anytime you pull out a T56 or a T5 gears. You always replace little plastic pieces because you're already in it. Other than that, we're going to do seals, just your basic trans rebuild, nothing too fancy. He's getting a new gear. But over here, you can kind of see the damage. So there's one of the keeper keys for this synchro. There's the second one, and then the 3rd one has fallen apart and really just kind of, well, the magnets right here inside the case did their job. Can't really see, I got a light. But on these, they have the double magnets right there, and they're in an aluminum casing, so that's going to be the only part to catch stuff. So they really did their job with catching everything to keep anything else from messing up. So with all that damage, you wouldn't think that it'd be too expensive, but we got looking into it, and what's technically called the countershaft, with the countershaft extension, or most people know it as a gear cluster, was actually stuck in the transmission because of that right there. I don't know how well you can see, but right there you can tell that there's remnants of pieces left over. Like I just pulled this off, but it got pretty hot. You can tell right there how black it is. It's pretty burnt. And then on the opposite side of where the cluster actually sits was also the same color. So that was actually wedged in there, and usually the cluster will just lift up out of there. Let's see if I can show you guys the opposite side of this. You can also tell it's pretty burred up and burnt. Right there, it's kind of chipped. So this is just going to be it's going to have to get a new counter shaft, and we're going to have to go through this and obviously replace that entire slider and hub assembly for the synchros. It's going to get new blocker rings and everything, and more than likely, if the kit has it or if it's a cheap fix, we could go with the billet keys. It all just depends on how much that piece is right there, because new, we found one for what, like 1,200 bucks, yeah. And that's not fun.
No, not at
Too
all.
much sun. But yeah, so $1,200 isn't fun for a transmission that costs a little over $1,500 for a good one. But with these GTOs, there's not very many of them. This is the 04, so 05 and 06 are different. Mm-hmm. So really, I mean, we just got to finding the right parts is going to be the trickiest part without buying them brand new. But other than that, we should be able to get it back on the road pretty soon. Whenever parts arrive is going to be the challenge, is just waiting on parts. But this is going to be pretty much like we're going to set up a time lapse here in a second. kind of just an overview. We got a bearing splitter, 2 of them actually, so we're going to be pulling apart that main shaft right there, and then that cluster gear as well to see part numbers on the gears to see what we need to get ordered. But other than that, we're going to jump right into it.
She left her body and hovered above me. I saw no shadow. I looked around, searched every building and home that I found. I saw no shadow, but felt a glow. The warmth inside me, it kept me afloat. It felt like heaven had found my bones and gave me comfort when I feel alone. Now you're gone, I'm alone. I guess it's time to get better. Through the pain, I will go alone. If I fall, break my bones, I will scream even louder. 'Cause I'm not dying alone. I lost my best friend to 23. She left her body and hovered above me. My best friend to 23. I heard the heavens crying above me. They gained an angel, I lost a friend. I felt like dying again and again. I went through hell, stared at death, but I keep fighting with each living breath. I saw no way out from where I stood. Felt like the fire had burned me through. Now you're gone, I'm alone. I guess it's time to get better. Through the pain, I will go alone. If I fall, break my bones, I will scream even louder. 'Cause I'm not dying alone. I lost my best friend.
Alright guys, as you can see, we have the transmission on the trans jack. We're getting ready to throw it up in the car. Brandon's getting his little snap story ready for it. It's been a long time coming. It's been about 2 weeks, but thankfully, the guys over at RPM Transmission were able to get us this transmission fairly quickly. We ordered it through Texas Speed. There's kind of a hassle with communication between the two, but other than that, Jeremy at RPM really set things through, kind of lined everything up and got us where we needed to be. So the trans is here, we got everything we need on it, and now should just be able to throw it back in. Should have it running today.
Used to be so simple. Haven't got a clue as to why the world is filled with lies. guess we keep the truth to ourselves. Maybe we're hypnotized. This is life. I've been living. Shit's too serious, but I can't advance it. I've been living, but I can't get by with our eyes wide open, we won't miss a thing that you're doing. You better watch what you keep from us before it's too late to go back. Our economy is broken. We shouldn't have to kill ourselves to serve someone else. This is
All right, guys, so as you just witnessed, we threw the transmission in the GTO, got everything back up and going. Already took it to Indy. The thing's running great, and it's driving great. I guess it shifts smooth. We do have to put a short throw shifter on it because they discontinued the shifter on the top. Instead of rebuilding the T56 that was in it, it was more cost effective for Brendan to just go ahead and put an RPM transmission in it. This RPM transmission can hold up to 800 horsepower. He's only at 418 to the wheels, so right now he's at a perfect safe zone. We shouldn't have any issues with the transmission going, the clutch, anything like that. Everything's kind of in its own power range. Next step is going to be the axles, right?
Yep.
All right, so next step we're doing axles that should eliminate the wheel hop. So when he does a burnout, going in a second, it just starts hopping real bad because of high wheel speed. But you'll be seeing some footage of that. Other than that, Brendan, what do you think of the process?
It was cool. I enjoyed it. Really got to touch the car and get to know the car, and also just the car makes a lot of memories and friendships in the whole process. So it was pretty fun.
And with that being said, we will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.